In this special trending, discover how Black investors are building legacy with art, how Asian investors seek to grow their wealth, and how Hispanic families are extending the American dream. And there seems to be a common thread amongst all these cultures. We will break it down for you right here on UBS Trending. Hi everyone, and welcome to UBS Trending. I am your host, Amantia Muhedini. I'm happy to be here today with my colleague and friend, Alicia Brooks, from the Multicultural Investor segment. Alicia, welcome to the conversation. I'm very excited to discuss with you today some of the recent investor research that your team has run on Invest to Advance, where you're looking at 3 different cultural groups and the ways in which they're investing. So let us just dig right in here. Tell me a little bit about what you're finding from speaking to Black investors in the U.S.
Well, Amantia, our Invest to Advance research has shown that among high net worth investors that we surveyed, Black investors in particular are fostering a collector's culture. For example, they are building their wealth and their legacy and transferring their wealth through high valuable art and other high valuable collectibles like coins and jewelry and cars. There's also a particular focus on inclusive and sustainable investing. That is another priority for them, with a heavy focus on impact investing and narrowing the wealth gap. Specifically compared to overall investors that we surveyed, Black investors have shared, at least more than half of them, that they are twice as likely to donate a larger portion of their wealth, and they prioritize giving and support for institutions that are aligned with their culture.
That's very interesting. And as you know, as a sustainable investing strategist, I look at this data a lot. And it's interesting how with the changing face of wealth, really, we see more and more investors who are interested across sustainability, impact, and also all these asset classes, like art in this case. Now, let's shift a little. Tell me a little bit about your research as in regards to Asian investors. What are you finding there?
Sure. In our research, there's a particular focus among Asian high net worth investors on growing their wealth, and that's extending to caring for the next generation. So at least 8 in 10 expect to leave an inheritance to their friends and family, and they want their transfer to go smoothly. They also want that inheritance to be spent wisely. So there's a lot of focus there just on that transferring of wealth. For our respondents, there's a growth mindset that showed up in their portfolios with a 53% allocation to equities, that's more than a 10% gap when compared to overall investors.
Very interesting. So Asian investors are investing in equities more than the broader population,
Absolutely.
Right? Wow. And I mean, I'm hearing you talk about this kind of focus on transferring their wealth. Mm-hmm. This rings back the number that we all have been seeing recently, that of the great intergenerational wealth transfer. We know that about $70 trillion are going to be transferred from the silent generation, the boomer generation, on to Gen X, to millennials, and then onward. And that number, 72 trillion, that is more than 3 times the US GDP from a couple of years ago, just to put it in context. It's huge. So as we're talking about transfers and these different client groups, switch gears here again, Hispanic investors, it was interesting to me that in the report, they seem to care more about family as well and also think about the next generation. Tell me a little more there.
What stood out for us is that family-focused investing is really high amongst Hispanic high net worth investors that we survey compared to investors overall. Consistent with this goal, Hispanic investors are prioritizing retirement planning and caring for the next generation. So with wealth transfer in particular, they are laser focused on good stewardship of their money because they want their families to live their best lives now. They want to build their lives and they want to make sure that they're achieving milestones like buying a home or getting married. As a result, 90% of Hispanic investors that we surveyed shared that they are proactively seeking financial education for their loved ones so that they can make the most out of their inheritance.
Very interesting. I'm hearing so many different threads come together here. I'm hearing you talk about sustainability, impact, the wealth transfer, and investing really to advance. So well done on the title of your report.
Thank you.
What's a core takeaway for you?
I think a core takeaway is that, as much as we look at culture across all 3 demographics, I mean, there is definitely some trends that we are seeing. There's also definitely some unique qualities and attributes that we can contribute to just around the overall culture and and how people look and live that every day. So I think it's really, really important for financial institutions to dive into culture and to make sure that we are sort of understanding what matters most to each one of these demographics.
That's right, and that's why we do this work over here at UBS.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much for joining me, Alicia, and thank you for this conversation. That's the time we have today, and for more information, go to ubs.com/invest to advance. For more content, go to ubs.com/views to find related trending views. UBS Trending is also on social media. Follow us on Instagram at UBS Trending for content that you won't find anywhere else. And you can also check out LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter for more. And as always, if you have questions about your portfolio, please speak with a financial advisor. Until next time, I'm Amantia Muhedini. Have a great day, and remember to keep your eyes on what's trending.